I don't have my good microphone on with me right now. I apologize. What I wanted to do was make a video about making fine points on your print. Stop curling, because that is a big problem that most people have on their printers. You may experience it a little bit, you may experience it a lot, but I have a bilaterally split knife there that I need to put back together. And what I need to do is make sure it glues together without any of the edges peeling up. That's what I want to show you how to do. All right, desktop audio, desktop file. This is my version of Cura. This is 5.9. This, what I'm about to show you, will work on just about any version of Cura. And it does not matter the settings that you have over here. You can toggle back and forth between the classic custom settings, your personal settings. It won't matter. What we're going to do is we're going to import our two files. Dagger part A, which needs to be flipped over. Whee! Dagger part B. There we go. And check on the dimensions. I know these need to be 300 millimeters each. Uniform scaling is on, so that'll affect all sides. And now I could rotate it at 45 degrees so you know everything fits on the bed. Arrange all models. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I like everything pointing the same way because if you've noticed on your prints, things sometimes print a little askew. It will be good to have the same parts in the same areas as best you can, or print them one at a time in the exact same orientation. That way, the skewed factor on your printer is compensated by the positioning of your prints. Excuse me, coffee sip. Now, with everything set up the way it is, one thing that you'll notice is that there are some nice sharp curves on here and sharp points. Now, in order to prevent them from peeling up while you print them, this is not very tall. Look at the entire height of this. It is 3 millimeters tall. It is not very tall. And if you've ever printed something like this, you know for certain that these areas are going to peel up. Especially this spot right here. Especially. Well, when you check under your model, you have light blue means that it is touching the build plate. You're ready to go. Select a model. This box right here is a support blocker. If you put this down on your model, first thing it'll do is it will prevent supports from appearing in that area, but it does more. Select that actual cube. Go to your dimension here. Uncheck uniform scaling and put it at the resolution that you will be printing in. I'm using a 0.25 nozzle, so my resolution is 0.1. I've actually gone as low as 0.05 on these, but that is not necessary for this demonstration or this model. 0.1 is really fine on the Z height. And a 0.25 nozzle means these sharp corners are going to be pretty darn sharp. All right, hit enter. Now you'll notice it is as flat can be. Neat. Second part. This is how far above the build plate it is. It is 0.51. I want that to be 0. Drops down to the build plate. Third part. Select this here per model settings. The model you have selected is now going to adopt this feature. Normal. Show that to you again. Normal. Now you look underneath it. Boom. That same wonderful blue color. Now, we're going to do a slice real quick so that you may see. Oop. Preview. Now look at that. A support blocker, unmodified, sits there with no change to it. The normal version has a little tab. Look at that. So zoomed in. Okay. This little thing right here is going to be like a little footprint pad. And this footprint pad will prevent that tip from peeling up. And when all is said and done and it's printed, it'll come off very, very easy with a pair of snips, a blade, or what have you. Now, we need to repeat this process all over the model. Back to prepare. Select the model. Boop. And da-da. Always put these down in the direction that you are facing, because if you put it right there, it's going to be right there and you're going to have to move it. If you don't want it there, click it again. Boop, boop, goes away. So I want it there. So that you can see it yourself, all of the corners and all of the potential areas that you will have it peel up are now touched, and now we convert them like we did the first one. Coffee sip. Now I'm going to be honest with you. I wish there was an easier way to do this. I know Prusa has a support painter, but I do not know with the support painter if you can convert it into tabs like this. I am not a user of Prusa, so I apologize. I will not be able to show you if this can be done on Prusa, but some of you smart people might be able to see this and go, oh yeah, there is a feature that can do that on Prusa. If that's the case, go for it. Make your own video. Share this knowledge. And I will say that I was able to find this on someone's video called These Mickey Mouse Ears, which I thought was kind of cute, except they did not show you how to do this. You imported your own cylinder onto the model and you put it in on the 3D model itself, which works, but you need to be able to import primitives into your model and do model manipulation. This is all done natively in Cura, and it works. Okay, so there it is. Looking great. Slice the baby. Preview, please. There we have everything as it should be, the way I want it. Let's check layer number 1. Now we can show you two things. I'm going to go straight to this point. You'll notice you have a cross section of lines here. Because this is not part of the original model, Cura is seeing each of those lines as separate entities and is drawing them as complete separate components, ignoring the overlap. There is a setting in here when you have one of these selected to work on the overlap, but if you do that, assigning it a top layer or wall count will not create the same effect. If that is changed on future renditions of Cura, then so be it. That would be awful handy. Okay. I bet you didn't know this, but if you did, kudos on you. When you go through and you look at each individual layer on your slice, you can go top down and bottom up. So you can look at just the top layer, or a cross section from the opposite side, or what have you. You can also grab the opposite side and pull it down and look through it one layer at a time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this, make sure everything that is there that I want it to be there at layer 1 only, go to layer 2, and they're gone. That is all I want. Easy. Go to the top layers. Look at the direction of those top layers. They're running up and down. I'll show you something. Right here, top bottom pattern. Now you can choose how this prints. Coffee break. You can choose how this prints. Concentric, slice, zigzag. This is a great way to print zigzag. Because look at how it does that line, continuous line. It doesn't stall, pick up and move, stall, pick up and move. It is a continuous line. That is my preferred method. But there's one more thing you can do. Here, expose hidden settings, top, bottom, line, directions. 90. Boom. 90. 180. Now I have my repeating swapping pattern. Again, just like you normally would. Slice that, save it to disk, get it ready for print. That is how you make tabs, a couple of other features you may or may not know about, and some fun times in Cura. I hope this was a nice learning curve for you. It's a very simple thing to do. Cura is a very powerful tool, and it will allow you to make all kinds of custom changes, which is why I prefer to continue to use it. Coffee break. Delicious coffee break. And it is the primary slicer I stick with. I am able to use it to effect a lot of changes. However, I find that I am getting into limitations with the actual Marlin firmware on my printer, and I'll be switching to Clipper eventually. But that will not change move commands, which is what this is assigned to do. So I'll still be able to use this to the same degree. My firmware will be slightly different, and I'll have a couple of new calibration options which allow me to go faster. Looking forward to it. Coffee break. And I hope this taught you guys something. Thanks for very much stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what Bob Ross statements I should start using when I make videos. Yeah.